Transitioning into our next topic at hand, and this will be a short one too. But we recently had we actually on this podcast talk about the current games that were going to be nominated to be in the Hall of Fame. We listed off a number of games and series that could make it in. So we got an update to that. This comes out of PBS.org, written by just say arts. Okay, by the Associated Press. Mortal Kombat inducted to the Video Game Hall of Fame. Mortal Kombat has the blood and guts arcade game that triggered congressional hearings and age-level game ratings was inducted Thursday into the World Video Game Hall of Fame, along with Colossal Cave Adventure, Super Mario Kart, and the ubiquitous Solitaire game built into Microsoft Windows. The 2019 inductees were honored for their impacts on video gaming and pop culture, and their popularity over time and across countries. Mortal Kombat quickly raised alarms when it launched in 1992, with critics taking aim at a feature giving players the gory choice of whether to kill by decapitation an opponent or ripping out their heart. Instead of enriching a child's mind, these games teach a child to enjoy inflicting torture. Senator Joseph Lieberman, out of Connecticut Democrat, said in 1993 when opening congressional hearings on video game violence that featured scenes from the game. Amid a national conversation about the impact of video violence on kids, the industry established the ESA in 1994 to assign parent-friendly age ratings to games. So congrats, Mortal Kombat, for getting into the Hall of Fame, as well as those other ones as well.
I think what a lot of people, and this is something I've kind of touched on in the past when it comes to gaming in general, and it seems to kind of been dying down, but I also think it's because a lot of the people who played games back in the day are now the adults running shit. Mm-hmm. Not enough, but a lot. There's obviously an art to these games, including Mortal Kombat. And Mortal Kombat was never intended to be something that it was a toy for children. It was a fun thing for adults. Full out. Full on, full in, whatever. But I played Mortal Kombat at a very young age. And not once did I ever think that anything I saw in it was like something I was going to do or okay. I always saw it as, what you would expect in a horror movie kind of thing. And I think that's another thing that adults don't realize how smart children actually are.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, Mortal Kombat, I will watch people play it. I never played it myself because at the time I think I was a bit small or was not tall enough to reach the buttons and sticks. It wasn't until Mortal Kombat 3 I actually sat down and play it. It definitely was a fun game. Although during that time when I was playing MK3, there was definitely some things that scared me. So but yeah, no, it was a game that I think that over time has changed, but also at the same time that this and Night Trap birthed ESA and in very many ways made sure that the game industry should monitor their own games and make sure to rate each one so that parents know what to get their child. Even though saying that, and you'll probably see parents still buy rated M games for their kids anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But at the time, it was a huge deal, and it still is.
Yeah, I think the spot is definitely deserved. I'm kind of when I saw this, I'm okay, I'm kind of shocked that it wasn't already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a Hall of Fame to begin with for video games in the first place. So when Greg and I talked about it on the podcast, we were like, oh, hey, this is a thing. I'm not surprised, but it's it's a thing that it exists.
Yeah, I mean the franchise, was so, well, I mean, it still is big, but it wasn't as big as it was when all the hearings were like going on, and you had like everybody knows Mortal Kombat for the most part. Like I could talk to maybe about I'd say like 7 out of 10 people and be like, hey, like get over here, and like they know where that's from.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
You know what I mean?
Did you guys see the clip from a recent convention where a guy
Yes,
as Scorpion and a cop used his megaphone to test?
Yeah.
it was so good. Oh, I love
That's
it.
so funny because then like I love it just because the guy's like, what? I didn't do anything. Like, what?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the reason it deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, is because everyone knows what the fuck Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah.
My parents don't play video games. I could literally say downstairs, like, what's Mortal Kombat? And they would be like, it's a fighting game where you can rip people's spines out. Like, that's what probably they would say.
Yeah.
But it's really funny to me that, like, there are people out there that still think the games that deserve to be in the Video Game Hall of Fame are the ones that, like, somehow inspire children to do something good, or, like, these super artsy-fartsy games. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, comedy movies and horror movies deserve to be in fucking Hall of Fames just as much as...
Yep. I mean, it kind of depends on like Hall of Fame. It's just like, okay, what is the impact on just everybody as like a whole, like on popular culture.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
it was one of the stipulations in the inductees. Like, it had to have made an impact. Not just because it was a good game or that people was very popular at the time. Like, it was something that made an impact in the industry, and has even to this day still very popular game that people would know and said. Like you said, you said, Greg, you go to your parents and you ask them like what Mortal Kombat is, they know, and I'm not gonna assume their age, but they're up there in age, and so.
Yeah, my dad's in his 60s and my mom is just went into her 60s, so...
Yeah. So, yeah.
But I do want to point something else out, that another reason is that whenever a game gets made into a film, usually the film sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1, that movie. I love that movie. Like, even today, it's so campy and it's so weird. It's still good. A lot better than the Mario movie that we got.
I was so excited when they used that song, the remix version of that song, in the new Mortal Kombat trailer. Oh my god!
I'm just saying that has a massive cultural impact.
It does. And you're right. Like, most of the time, video game movies don't do that well. And when Mortal Kombat came out, like, that movie did pretty well. I mean, well, I think if you looked at it financially, I think that maybe not has been successful as I hoped for. But like culturally, it is a pretty big staple for MK series, but also just in the video game realm as well.
I think Detective Pikachu will change that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, good point. Good point. Yeah.
I'm actually going to go see that movie tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Definitely, you're a good point. Yeah, Detective Pikachu is going to be really, really good.
Pretty sure it's good.
But yeah,
I would honestly argue. People will fucking tell me I'm wrong, but that's fine. I expect that with my next segment. But I argue that the Rampage movie was good. It was just.
I actually haven't seen that.
It's fine.
I would argue that it's on par with the Fast and Furious movies, like. It's kind of got that schlocky B movie feel. Yeah.
But
it does it really fucking well. Like it's
just kind of a movie you just watch, you turn your brain off, and you just kind of just enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly. And there are moments in the movie that I think are really clever. Like there's a shot of I guess you could say Lizzie and George.
Yeah.
No, it's Ralph and George. My bad. It's the wolf and the ape. But there's a shot where it shows. George on the side of a building, he reaches into a building and pulls out a person and eats him.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And that is fucking like they know the fucking source material.
Yeah.
Move for the masses.
It's very campy in that aspect, and
not even then though. It's like okay, you can't there isn't like a deep lore to Rampage.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean? It's just like get the characters right, give some nods to the game, boom.
yeah.